In this lesson, you're going to learn to divide by two-digit divisors. Now, so far you've learned about using partial quotients with two-digit divisors, estimating with two-digit divisors, and you've also started to explore division with two-digit divisors. And in this lesson, we're going to learn how to use the standard algorithm for long division to solve problems with two-digit divisors. Let's take a look at our word problem. Mr. Yates owns a smoothie shop. To mix a batch of his famous orange punch smoothies, he uses 18 ounces of fresh squeezed orange juice. Each day, he squeezes 560 ounces of fresh orange juice. How many batches of orange punch smoothies can Mr. Yates make in a day? Well, let's underline the question that we're trying to answer so we make sure that we focus on that while we're solving our problem. And we want to know how many batches of orange punch smoothies Mr. Yates can make in a day. Well, we know that each day he squeezes 560 oranges, and it takes 18 ounces of fresh squeezed orange juice to make a smoothie. So it looks like we're going to divide this 516 into groups of 18. So we could say 560 divided by 18. Now let's estimate to place the first digit in our quotient. On my 18, I'm going to round that to 20. And a compatible number that's close to 560 that divides evenly with 20 and easily in my head is 600. So I'm going to say here that the estimate is going to be close to 30. Now use the estimate to place the first digit in the quotient. Since our estimate goes to the tens place, the first digit of the quotient will be in the tens place. Let's go to step 2. Now we're going to divide the tens. Here we have 56 tens that we need to put into groups of 18. So we're going to divide 56 divided by 18. Then we need to see how many of those tens we're going to put are going to be used in those groups of 18. So I have a group of 18 here and a group of 18 here. And since my estimate's 30 or 3 tens, I'm going to estimate that it's going to be about 3 groups of 18 is probably going to be pretty close to 56. So let's see. So the next step that I'm going to do is multiply. 18 times 3. 8 times 3 is 24 ones. So I'm going to put my 4 ones and carry my 2 tens. 3 times 1 is 3 plus 2 is 5. So if I make 3 smoothies, then that's going to give me 3 groups of 18 tens, and I'm going to have, but I have 56 tens. So if I put my tens into 3 groups, I'm going to use up 54 tens, and I'm going to have 2 tens left over. So here's what I did. I multiplied 18 times 3, and then I got 54. So then I had to subtract 56 because that's how many tens we have. And I used up 54 of those tens in the groups. So I have 2 tens remaining. So I need to check and see. Well, I have 2 tens that cannot be shared among the 18 groups because there's not enough. And so I have to regroup. So now I'm going to divide the ones. Since I had 2 tens remaining, I need to break those 2 tens up, regroup them into 20 ones. Now I'm going to divide 20 ones put into 18 groups, or put into a group of 18. So I can only make one group of 18 there. So I'm going to put a 1 here. So I just divided 20 ones put into a group of 18. I know that that's only going to be one group, so then I'm going to multiply one group of 18, and that's going to give me 18. Now I had 20 ones, but 18 of them are in the group. So that means that I have 2 left over. And let me check. Can these 2 ones be put into another group of 18? No, they cannot. 2 ones cannot be put into another group of 18. So I can see that my answer is 31 remainder 2, or my quotient is 31 remainder 2. But does that answer my question? Let's go back and look at the question. How many batches of orange punch smoothies can Mr. Yates make in a day? Well, since my quotient is 31 with 2 ounces remaining, the correct answer is going to be 31 batches. All right, let's look at another one. Every Wednesday, Mr. Yates orders fruit. He has set aside $1,250 to purchase Valencia oranges. The cost of each box of Valencia oranges is $41. How many boxes of Valencia oranges can Mr. Yates purchase? So let's underline our question here. We want to know how many boxes he can purchase. And now we're going to need to divide the money up into the cost of each box to find out how many boxes he can purchase. So first thing we're going to do is estimate, and I'm going to say that 41 is close to 40. And a compatible number that's close to 1,250 is 1,200. I can think of this as a 4 and a 12. And 1,200 or 1,200 divided by 40 is going to give me 30. So I know that I'm going to place my digit in the tens spot. Okay, so if we look up here, we have our problem has been done for us, started for us, but we need to fill in these blue boxes. So let's see what's going to go here. I'm going to, since I estimated 30, I'm going to put a 3 in the tens place. That means that I'm going to make 3, see what the cost is for the 3. I'm going to put the 125 tens into groups of 41 and see how many that is if I have 3 of those groups. So I'm going to do 41 times 3 and get 123. Now I used up 123 tens, which means I've got 2 left over, and I'm going to break that apart into ones to 21s because 2 tens isn't enough to make another group of 41. So now that I have 21s, I have to look. 41, can I make a group of 41 with 21s? No, I can't. So I need to put a 0 here saying, oh, I'm not going to be able to make a group. So 0 times 41 is 0. None of those ones have been put into groups, which means I have 21s remaining. So my quotient is 30, remainder 20. Now let's check this answer to make sure it's correct. Remember that multiplication is the inverse of division. So if I multiply 30 times 41, I do 1 times 0 is 0, 1 times 3 is 3. And this is 4 tens. So 40 or 4 tens times 0 is 0 tens, and 4 times 3 is, or 40 times 30 is 1,200. So now when I add this up, I get 1,230 in my 41 groups. But remember, I have $20 left over. So if I add that $20, I get 1,250, which is the amount that I had. So I can see that my quotient is correct. So let's look back at our question now. How many boxes of Valencia oranges can Mr. Yates purchase? Well, our quotient is 30, remainder 20, which means that he can purchase 30 boxes of oranges. All right, we're going to do one more